arrogant alien kept poking the human, so he bit her to show his dominance. Jaylen had never been fond of the Zyri. They strutted around the interspecies academy with their gleaming scales, tails flicking like whips, and voices dripping with superiority. Every lecture, every training exercise, every casual encounter seemed to come with the same sneering reminder. Humans are weaker. Humans are primitive. Humans don't belong here. And none embodied that arrogance more than Salyra. Tall, sleek, with metallic blue scales and golden eyes that glowed faintly in the dimmed corridors, she was the poster child of her species' pride. Whenever she passed Jaylen in the academy's halls, her clawed fingers would brush deliberately against his shoulder, her tail would coil in mock play around his leg, or, worse, she'd poke him. Not once, not twice. Every time. A quick jab to the ribs during drills. A poke to the cheek while he was trying to eat. A sharp tap on the forehead when he studied late into the night. It was constant, deliberate, and humiliating. Humans were rare at the Zyri Academy. Earth had only recently been invited into the Galactic Accord, and Jaylen was the first of his kind to even set foot inside these marble-like halls. He was supposed to represent his people with honor and patience. But Salyra made that nearly impossible. One evening, after combat training, Jaylen sat on a bench near the training grounds, sweat dripping down his face. His body ached from sparring against opponents who had scales and claws instead of fragile skin. He was catching his breath when he felt it, sharp and deliberate. Poke. He clenched his teeth. Salyra loomed over him, her grin revealing razor-sharp teeth. Tired already, human? Perhaps you should run home before you break. Your kind isn't built for real trials. Jaylen exhaled slowly. Go away, Salyra. Poke. Right in the middle of his forehead this time. His patience frayed. He swatted her clawed hand away, but she leaned closer, golden eyes glowing with amusement. Oh, I forgot. You're supposed to be diplomatic. A good little representative. So what will you do, human? Endure me forever. Something snapped. Before he could stop himself, Jaylen surged forward, grabbed her wrist, and sank his teeth into the scaled skin of her forearm. Salyra froze. The world seemed to hold its breath. Her tail stiffened, her claws flexed, and for a heartbeat Jaylen wondered if he had just doomed himself. But he didn't let go. He bit down hard enough for her to feel it, not enough to break her armored hide, but enough to show he wasn't prey. Finally, he released her and glared up into her stunned golden eyes. That's what happens when you keep poking me. Silence. And then, unexpectedly, she laughed. It wasn't her usual mocking chuckle, either. This one was raw, sharp, and strangely delighted. She pulled her arm back, inspected the faint mark his teeth had left, and tilted her head. You bit me. Her voice was low, almost reverent. A human bit me. Jaylen wiped his mouth. You don't own me. You don't get to treat me like some pet toy. Her grin widened. Finally, the prey bares his fangs. The next day, the academy buzzed with whispers. Everywhere Jaylen went, alien cadets stared at him, murmuring in hushed tones. Some looked amused, others impressed. The news had spread. The human had bitten Salyra. And Salyra herself was different. She didn't poke him. She didn't jeer at him in class. Instead, she started sitting near him. During combat drills, she volunteered to spar with him. During meals, she joined his table, watching him with an intensity that made him squirm. Why are you following me now? He asked after 3 days of this new behavior. She leaned in close, her golden eyes locked on his. Because you showed strength. Zyri respect dominance. You bit me. That makes you interesting. Interesting. Jaylen frowned. You spent weeks mocking me. That was testing. she said matter-of-factly. Your people are new here. I wanted to see if you were truly soft. But now I know. She smirked. You're not soft. You're sharp. And now I want to see how sharp you can get. What followed was strange. Solyra became his shadow, but not out of mockery, out of fascination. She trained with him longer than anyone else, pushed him harder, and when he faltered, she mocked him not with cruelty, but with a strange sort of encouragement. During one brutal sparring match, she knocked him flat on his back, her claws hovering near his throat. Too slow, human, she said, but her voice carried admiration. But better than yesterday. Jaylen groaned, pushing her hand aside. You're insane. Her tail flicked. And you like it. He hated to admit it, but part of him did. Weeks passed. Their strange bond grew. The academy instructors noticed Jaylen's improvements, whispering that perhaps the human species had more potential than they thought. And through it all, Solyra stayed at his side. Less an enemy, more a rival, sometimes even a partner. But one evening, things came to a head. The two of them had stayed late in the training hall. Jaylen was drenched in sweat, his fists sore from striking padded targets. Solyra circled him, watching with that maddening grin. You've grown stronger, she said. When I first met you, I thought you would break in days. But now you could stand against even me. Jaylen raised a brow. That a compliment? She stepped closer, her golden eyes gleaming. It's an invitation. Bite me again. He blinked. What? Her grin widened, sharp teeth flashing. Among the Zyri, dominance is shown through challenge. You bit me once, and it changed everything. Do it again. Show me you can keep claiming your place. Jaylen's heart pounded. He realized now this wasn't just teasing. For her, this was cultural. Serious. His biting her had shifted their entire dynamic. Slowly, he stepped closer, meeting her gaze without flinching. If I bite you again, he said quietly, it's not because you own me. It's because I won't let you walk over me. She tilted her head, pleased. Exactly. And so he did. He leaned forward and bit her shoulder. Harder this time, deliberate, dominant. When he pulled back, Solyra's eyes burned with approval. She hissed in satisfaction. Yes. That's it. Now, human, you are no longer prey. From that night forward, no one dared mock Jaylen. Not because he was the only human. Not because he was fragile. But because the most arrogant Zyri warrior had accepted him as her equal, her rival, and told anyone who questioned it, this human bites. And Jaylen, for the first time since he arrived at the academy, walked through the halls with his head held high.